Hey, what's up guys? MGH here. Welcome back to another video. Today we are taking a look at the official Arsenal ratings for FIFA 20. The entire squad that we'll see in career mode and Ultimate Team at the beginning of the game cycle. Of course, as players join, we will be getting new players. Who knows, maybe we'll make a couple of signings in January, but for now, these are the official ratings and the in-game pictures that we will have when the game releases in just over a week. Now, before we get into it, a massive shout out to Lasty, a good friend of mine and a great content creator. He went out to, I think they did it in Amsterdam. They had the early access kind of game capture event. So he went out there, he got all of the Premier League ratings for every single club. So there is a link in the description that takes you to his video where you can see every single Premier League rating, every player in the Premier League, and that is how I got these ratings for the Arsenal team. So big shout out to him, and let's go ahead and get started with the goalkeepers. Let me go ahead and open it up here. So we have Leno, 84 rated. Is he going to have an official face? Yes, can confirm he has a head scan in FIFA 20 and it's looking great. I don't have a screenshot for you, but it is in there unless somehow they haven't actually updated it into the game just yet. Maybe it'll come soon, but he will have it. 84 rated, what do we think? I think that's about right. Maybe an 85, but he has led to quite a few goals conceded. He's actually up there, I think, in the last year or so for the most errors leading to a goal, but also has had some very good performances for Arsenal as well. So I would say 84 is about right. We then have our backup goalkeeper. Finally, Martinez is kind of making it into the team, you know. He's been on loan for years and years, but now we are using him as our backup. 75 rated, just about makes him a gold. Very decent stats, but of course, nothing crazy. He's a backup for a reason, right? So far, pretty happy with these ratings. We're now going to go into centre-backs, and let's go from left to right. We have new signing, David Luiz, 83 rated. I'm a little bit sad he's wearing the Chelsea blue shirt. I'm very OCD about these things, but obviously it doesn't really matter. 83 rated though, 61 pace, very, very low pace, 65 shooting, 74 passing, which is good to see. That's definitely one of his strong points. From what we're trying to do this season with passing out from the back, he's definitely helped us with that. We've then got 71 dribbling, 82 defence and 77 physical. I don't think that's a too bad card at all, but if you think back to the days where David Luiz was one of the most overpowered centre-backs, I'm talking 4 or 5 FIFAs ago, when he had mid-70s pace and everyone used him. And now look, this is what happens with age, I guess. Moving on to Socrates, I think this is a little bit generous. 84 rated, not so sure about that myself. Probably would have gone with an 83, maybe even an 82 if I'm being completely honest. 72 pace, 51 shooting, 52 passing, 61 dribbling, 84 defence and 83 physical. It's a very, very good rating. A bit high, as I said. Talking of being a bit high, Mustafi last year was massively overrated. I believe he got an 82 or an 83, something ridiculous like that. Well, yeah, 79 rated now. Oh, dearie me. 60 pace as well. His defence and physical are very, very low. It's a terrible, terrible card. Well done, Mustafi. Yeah. Moving on to a future prospect of ours, Holding, 60 pace. I think that's a bit harsh in my opinion. 76 rating isn't too bad. 34 shooting, 59 passing. That is so unfair. He's a great passer of the ball. 65 dribbling, 77 defence, and only 73 physical. I'm not a fan of that. I don't believe in that whatsoever. I think his rating is good, 76, but his face stats are very underrated. I'm not too pleased with that. But in career mode, who cares? With the dynamic potential this year, you can make them as good as you want them to be, as long as they play well. Mavropanos, it's going to be awesome once again, having 2 Greek Arsenal defenders that can link up in Ultimate Team, of course. But 55 pace makes him pretty much unusable, as you guys know. 33 shooting, I mean, I don't need to go through all the stats. Pretty underwhelming card, but 70 rated? I guess I can get behind that. And then we have Zek Medley, one of our academy players. A very average card, of course. He's a bronze, 63 rated. Left-footed centre-back, our only left-footed centre-back. It's unbelievable. We do need another one at some point, okay? But that's the centre-backs. Let's have a look at wing-backs because we have some very, very interesting cards here. We've got Kolasinac, 79 rated with the 75 pace, but the massive 87 physical, which I think's Very, very decent indeed. 79 rated, I think that's probably about right. If he was a left wing back, I'd be expecting an 80 because he's definitely better going forward. But defensively, yeah, he does let us down a little bit. Then we have our new signing, Tierney, and I'm not having this. I'm not having this. Everyone, well, not everyone, but most people should know that Tierney is better than a 76 rating. I think it's very, very unfair. You're only telling me he's slightly better than Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Yes, I know he's injured at the moment, and a lot of people haven't seen him play in the Premier League yet. Of course, he hasn't played a game yet, but in the Scottish League, he's definitely one of their best players, and he was one of their best players. 76 rated, I don't know about that, but 88 pace, 81 physical, 71 defending. It's a good card, but I would expect in January, once he's played quite a few games for Arsenal, we will see an upgrade. Bellerin given an 80 this season. His pace is now only 92. He's no longer one of the fastest players in the game. It's quite horrifying. That's what happens when you get an injury like his, I guess, and you lack a little bit of pace. But it's just an underwhelming card. I'm not going to lie. Everything but his pace is so poor. 66 physical is just rubbish. It really isn't fair. I think he's better than that. But again, maybe I'm being a bit biased. And then we've got Maitland-Niles, who comes in as a right wing back in FIFA 20. Now, if you're an Arsenal fan, you'll know he's predominantly a centre mid, but he's played right back and sometimes left back for us for pretty much the last 18 months or so. So I guess this is his new position, and he's done very well for us there. 75 rating, I think, is probably about fair. But in the future, I would expect him to go back to centre mid, especially if we bring in a new right back at some point, and he will start climbing up those ranks very quickly. Into the midfield now, we have going from left down to the right. Eventually, we've got Dani Ceballos on loan from Real Madrid, of course. 81 rated. Very, very nice card. Very well-rounded. A lot of high 60s, which may be a little bit underwhelming, but the 84 dribbling and the 79 passing, very nice indeed. We then got Granit Xhaka, the same rating. 51 pace, though. I wish they had, mistakes as a attribute. He'd have 99. Because he is, oh my god, he's a little bit unreliable at times. We then got Mesut Ozil, his lowest rating in years, 84. Completely deserved. He doesn't deserve to be any higher than that. I know it sounds bad, because I love Mesut, and I know on his day he's incredible, but I'm quite looking forward to the day where we just don't have to talk about him anymore, because it's a never-ending, boring subject. Is Ozil going to play? Is Ozil going to start? We don't need him anymore. I'm absolutely certain of it. We would be fine without Mesut from next season onwards. So will he be an Arsenal player? 84 rating though. Moving on to Torreira. What a card this is. He's going to be a very popular choice. 82 rated with 75 pace, 67 shooting, 77 passing, 80 dribbling, 81 defending and 75 physical. It's a really, really good card. And then we have Chambers, who is basically a centre-back for Arsenal, but of course all last season, pretty much the most of last season when he was playing on loan at Fulham, he was playing as a defensive midfielder, so I get why they've made him a CDM, but he will only play as a centre-back for us, I'm pretty sure, so it's the wrong position maybe that'll get updated at some point. 63 pace as well, it's not great. 75 rated, he's just about made it as a non-rare gold. We then have Guendouzi, who has been given a 75 rating. Now, I know a lot of people will say that's fine, and a lot of people will say that's ridiculous. I mean, just to compare this, okay, Harry Winks, I just want to say, Guendouzi completely outperformed Harry Winks when we had the North London derby, is 80 rated. 80. And you're telling me Guendouzi's 75. Now, I don't think that's a case of Guendouzi being too low. I think maybe Winks is a bit overrated there. Tottenham fans, let me know what you think without trying to kill me. But Guendouzi, I would have given a 76, personally. But it is a very, very nice card. I can see Guendouzi and Torreira, especially in an Arsenal career mode, being a very solid partnership for many, many seasons. We then have El Neni, who, of course, is out on loan at Besiktas. He's actually got an Arsenal card. I've changed it myself, given him the Besiktas badge. Terrible card. Oh, it's absolutely awful. He's on loan with an option to buy. I hope he stays there. Please perform well this season, El Neni. We then have Willock. Now, this is the only one which I'm genuinely angry about, because Willock has shown such promise this season so far for Arsenal. He's been starting games in the Premier League for Arsenal Football Club, and he's been given a 67 rating. There's no doubt in my mind this will not stay like this. Whenever they intend to do the updates this year, if in Ultimate Team you're going to have to wait till January, it's such a shame because he is without doubt 71, 72, maybe even 73 at this point in his career, I would say. So I'm really disappointed with that. In career mode, I will definitely be training him up. And then we have Burton, a player that performed in pre-season pretty well for Arsenal. I know Freddie Ljungberg said he's got a great future ahead of him. He's been given a 57 rating. Now, moving on to the wingers, I know a lot of people will be interested to see these. So we have Gabriel Martinelli, our new left winger from Brazil, 68 rated. It's a really, really decent rating. I'm surprised they've given him 68 when they've still got Smith Rowe at 65, for example. I mean, it's a little bit of an odd one. Martinelli will have a decent potential, I'm sure. Of course, it's dynamic potentials when he's playing for you, but when you're coming up against other players in career mode, they do have set potentials. I'm guessing he will be in the mid-80s or so. Very, very nice card with the 85 pace. We've then got Smith Rowe. For me, is better down the middle as a cam, but he's been given left wing. It's a good card. It's not bad at all. Would have liked to have seen him get closer to 70s. I think he's definitely got that ability. And then we've got Saka. Praise EA for giving him an actual in-game picture now. It's lovely to see his beautiful face there. 65 rated, left mid, although I would definitely want to play him on the right with that left foot of his. And then we have Nico Pepe, our biggest signing in history. 83 rated, I think that's completely fair. But looking at his card stats, they're very, very impressive. 91 pace, 81 shooting, 85 dribbling, 75 passing, and obviously defense and physical isn't the most important thing, but he's going to be an incredible card to get, and he's got a one to watch or ones to watch card. So if he gets any informs, which I'm sure he will, if you've got his ones to watch card, you will be automatically seeing that card upgrade. We then have Mkhitaryan, who of course is going to be spending the season with Roma, with again an option to buy, which turns into an obligation to buy if he plays 25 games, which I'm really hoping he does. He's been given 81 rated. It's a pretty poor card, to be fair, for an 81 rated, but still, he will have value. He's a decent player in FIFA for sure, and again, would prefer to see him down the middle. That's where I would play him. And don't forget, the reason I've included these players like Mkhitaryan and El Neni is because they're on loan and they will not have an option to buy or obligation to buy in FIFA. They will still be owned by Arsenal at the end of the season, so you might as well know the ratings, right? And then we've got Nelson. I'm gutted. He's only been given a 72. I was expecting a little bit more, but it's not terrible. It's better than it was last year. 88 pace as well. I mean, very, very decent. You can get some great young Arsenal players into your team here. Maybe Nelson on the right, and then you've got Gabriel Martinelli on the left. It's pretty nice. But now we're going on into the strikers. Disclaimer, I've had to make a card because we didn't have Nketiah in last year's video. So again, don't forget to check it out if you want to see any other players. But Nketiah, of course, is on loan at Leeds. I do know his official rating and stats, and that's what I've made. Yes, I made this card. Aren't I fantastic at Photoshop? He's been given a 68 rating, which I can confirm is higher than, is it Greenwood, the young United striker or winger? A lot of people are not happy about that, which I kind of get it, but Nketiah's had a very good start to his loan at Leeds and for the under-21s England side as well. 84 pace, 66 shooting though seems a little bit crazy to me. But the three players that are in the Arsenal squad, from the video at least from Lasty, Aubameyang, 88 rated, our highest player by 2. Lacazette comes in second with 86 rating. That Aubameyang card is filthy. Lacazette's card, very happy with that as well. It's definitely worthy of an 86 rating. His performances have been so good. And then we've got John Jules, who's only been given a 56. And actually, I think that's a little bit harsh. If you're giving Nketiah a 68, which should be 71, 72, John Jules should be 65 onwards, minimum, I would say. So that's a little bit disappointing. But that is it, guys. That is the Arsenal ratings. I hope you've enjoyed this. It's always good to see the ratings come out and how EA think they've performed recently and what ratings they deserve. There's quite a few that maybe are a little bit off, but there's also quite a few that seem about right. So I would give EA a solid 7 out of 10 for the Arsenal ratings. There's just a couple there that I would probably change. But if you want to see any other players from the Premier League, as I've said a few times, just check out Larsy's video. There is a link in the description to check him out. Make sure you subscribe to him. He's a good guy, does a lot of good content. So yeah, thank you to him for letting me use the screenshots. All the best, guys. PES comes out soon. I'll be doing a Master League series on that. And then, of course, it's FIFA 20 time. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss an episode. And I will see you next time.